connected and on, we may restart the meeting.
All right. The live stream back on? Is it on again?
Yes, it is.
Okay, well, let's proceed. Ms. Treviso, can you call the first speakers?
Can we restart the meeting, please?
Okay. All right, let's try it again. We apologize for these delays. We've been having some technical difficulties, as you heard, in particular with the live stream, so just please bear with us. Just want to welcome everyone to the Cannabis Regulation Commission meeting. Today is Thursday, September 10th, 2020. The time now is 2:38 p.m. I am President On, and I'll be chairing this meeting. The following commissioners have also joined this meeting: Vice President Mason and Commissioner Villa. DCR's Executive Director, Kat Packer, has also joined this meeting, along with members of our team. Let's go through some general instructions. I'm going to, before we get started, I want to go over some general instructions, some housekeeping items. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, this meeting is being conducted virtually and is being live streamed via DCR's website. Individuals who wish to watch this meeting may do so by going to the commission page on DCR's website and scrolling to the live stream video. Folks can also listen to this meeting by calling council phone, and that number is 888-475-4499. The meeting ID number is 860-838-7310, followed by ##. Members of the public who want to offer public comment may call one of the two toll-free numbers on the agenda and entering the meeting ID provided. Agendas for today's meeting can be found on the department's website at cannabis.lacity.org and navigating to the commission page. This meeting is being recorded. Therefore, we ask that you state your name clearly when you speak for the record. The audio file will be posted online within 48 hours of the meeting. When the item you wish to speak on is called, press *9 to get on the speaking queue, and the commission executive assistant will call out each speaker by the last 4 digits of their phone number, if available, and to identify the caller and unmute the speaker when his or her turn comes up. On their line, the speaker will hear that they have been unmuted. If there are no other items you wish to speak on, you may disconnect from this call and dial council phone to listen only. That number is listed on today's meeting agenda. Members of the public who remain on the public speaker call will be called on again if there's another item which allows for the public to speak. We will be following the agenda order. Today's presentation to the commission will be available on the department's website within 2 business days from this meeting. Today we'll consider general public comment and single or multiple agenda items together. Therefore, speakers will have 1 minute for the general public comment and 1 minute per item with a maximum of 2 minutes for multiple items. We ask that speakers state whether they are providing general public comment and/or which other item or items they are speaking on before they begin to comment, so that staff can appropriately time them. If the speaker does not specify which items they are speaking on, only 1 minute will be provided. We'll have a maximum of 1 hour allowed for the combined general comment and single or multiple agenda items today. We'll now open the general public comment and single or multiple agenda items. Speakers can address the commission on non-agenda related items that are within the jurisdiction of this commission, or provide public comment for items in today's agenda by dialing *9 on your telephone. Ms. Treviso, please call the first speaker.
Yes, caller with phone number ending in 7917. You are unmuted and please state your name and the items you wish to speak on.
My name is Charles Locken. I'll be making a general public comment.
Let's go ahead, sir.
Yes, I asked the Commission to support DCR Kat Packer's recommendation to allow social equity individual applicants who submitted an application for Phase 3 Retail Round 1 that were deemed not eligible for further processing to receive priority processing for a new application for one commercial cannabis activity not subject to undue concentration, such as non-volatile manufacturing, distribution, and delivery. Another element is because during the last city council meeting, Councilman Curran Price asked Cat Packer about the delivery licenses for those applicants that were deemed not eligible for further processing. And Ms. Cat Packer stated that her intention was to process the delivery license for those applicants, along with the next 100 retail licenses during Phase 3, Round 1 to restart. So we ask that the Commission support that today, and thank you.
Thank you. The next caller.
Caller with phone number ending in 3157, you are unmuted. Please state your name and the items you wish to speak on.
Hello, can you hear me all right?
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you, sir. I am Sarah Armstrong, Director of Industry Affairs for Americans for Safe Access and the Policy Chair for the Southern California Coalition. For Tuesday, September 8th, the LA City Council agenda had a wonderful item number 34, which would have extended the period to pay renewal fees on any license for calendar years 20 and 21 to December 14th, 2020, due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Before either ASA or the Southern California Coalition could get a letter of endorsement for this action off, it was removed from the LA City Council agenda. I hope that it will reappear. Both organizations support this idea. COVID-19 has been especially rough on the cannabis industry because we are not eligible for federal relief. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. We'll have next caller.
Caller with phone number 9544, you are unmuted. Please state your name and the items you wish to speak on.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Leslie Pletner, and I'd like to address the agenda item regarding the business premises relocation process. First, I'd just like to say thank you for creating the social equity program. It's the right thing to do, and you did it. At the same time, it's not enough to create the pathway for participation. You also must create the conditions for success. I'm an advocate for a social equity applicant who was expecting to move her license from one location to another in the same district back in January. She has been struggling to remain solvent. You can help her stay solvent by letting her move her licenses within the next few days. She needs to be able to move her licenses in the next few days to have a shot at success. Thank you very much.
Caller with phone number ending in 8366, you are unmuted. Please state your name and the items you wish to speak on.
We're having trouble hearing you, ma'am.
Hello?
That's better. We hear you.
Okay, hi. I'm a social equity applicant number 684. My name is Angelica Porter. And I would like to speak on the cannabis social equity applications and the application process. And I would like to just comment that in order to remedy everyone, I ask that you support Cat Packer's recommendation to allow social equity individual applicants who submitted an application during the 14-day Phase 3 Retail 1 application window and were deemed not eligible for further processing and to receive priority processing for a new application for one commercial cannabis activity not subject to undue concentration findings, i.e. non-volatile manufacturing, distribution, or delivery, and provide social equity applicants up to 1 year to submit a complete annual license application. We ask that this priority processing would occur along with the next 100 retail licenses issued during phase 3, round 1. Thank you for your time, and I appreciate
Thank you.
what you guys are doing. Bye-bye.
Thank you, ma'am. I just want to remind all the callers, please state your name clearly for the record. Also, if you could specify if you're speaking on general comment or a specific item number. The next caller, please.
I don't see anyone else on there. If anyone wishes to provide public comment, please remember to dial *9. Caller with phone number ending in 8992, you are unmuted. Please state your name and the items you wish to speak on.
Your general public comment.
Yes, sir.
I don't see anyone else on there.
Yes, my name is Walter Edwards. I'd like to address the first come, first serve. I believe that in the next round, you're taking out, they're eliminating those who are not have an arrest or conviction. But in the first round, you are allowing them to come in. I have an arrest and I went to prison as a youth. So I'm trying to get to that point where we can do that first. Let's go here instead of going over there to round 2. You're taking out, eliminating.
Sir, I'm getting a lot of feedback. Do you have your monitor on any chance? Is there a way to mute it?
Okay. Okay.
Sir,
Yeah.
do you have your monitor on? By any chance, I'm getting a lot of feedback.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Okay, sir, if you can proceed.
Okay, so my concern is that in the next round, in phase 3, you're not allowing those who don't have a conviction to have access immediately. But in the first round, you did a first come, first serve. But now you're allowing those who don't have no convictions, but low income, been in the disproportionate area, they're going in before those who have a conviction or arrest. And I don't think that's fair. As a juvenile, I was arrested and went to youth authority for 18 months. And I didn't get in this 3 years ago for a first come, first serve. So I don't think it's fair for you to put it back to the next round and don't do it in this round. That's it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next caller.
Caller with phone number ending in 1711, you are unmuted. Please state your name and the items you wish to speak on. Caller with phone number ending in 1711, you are unmuted. Please state your name and the item you wish to speak on.
Hello, my name is Christy Brock, and I am speaking on a general item. I am an advocate for a social equity applicant, and I ask that you expedite the ability for people to move their licenses within a matter of days instead of weeks or months. People have been waiting for an extremely long time, and it's an undue financial burden to expect us to have the ability to continue to wait. So we ask that you put this as an urgent item, as it is very simple to allow that process and provide the forms necessary to make the move and have that happen. Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't see anyone else on the queue. If you would like to make public comment, please remember to dial *9.
There aren't any callers. I'd like to close the public comment period. Can you just verify for me if there's any callers online?
President On, I do not see anyone on the queue.
Okay, great. With that, I want to thank everyone for your comments. Both the general public comment agenda item and the single or multiple agenda item periods are now closed. So let's move on to commission business. Item number 1. Commissioners, you should have received the advanced calendar, should be in front of you regarding our future meeting dates. If you could take a look, let me know if there are any planned absences for future meetings. Vice President Mason, do you have any dates? And while we're waiting, Commissioner Villa? You're gonna need to unmute yourselves.
No conflicts.
No conflicts. Commissioner Mason? Commissioner Mason? I see you're still muted. Commissioner Mason?
Yes.
We are on item number 1, advanced calendar. Are there any dates that you have conflicts with?
Not at this time.
Okay. So let's move on to the approval of the minutes. We were sent the minutes of July 30th, 2020 for review. Do I have a
Move to
motion?
approve the minutes.
Okay, do I have a second? We have a motion from Commissioner Villa. Is there a second? I'll second it. Mr. Treviso, please call the roll.
Yes, Commissioner Villa, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner On, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Mason, how do you vote?
Aye.
The vote is 3-0 and the motion passes.
Great, thank you. Let's move on to item number 2. We have a lot of updates for the public. We'll have the executive director's report at this time. Ms. Packer, do you have a report for us?
I do. Thank you, President On.
Let's hear it.
Good afternoon, commissioners. It's good to see everyone. I truly appreciate everyone's time and cooperation to make this special meeting happen today. Throughout the presentation of the executive director's report, my team and I will do our best to transition in between slides. I will now hand things over to Public Relations Specialist Raina Plummer, who will begin the report by quickly reviewing the topics that will be discussed. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Packer. Today's report will cover a number of topics, including a summary of DCR's activities since the last meeting of the Cannabis Regulation Commission, a preview and overview of the design of DCR's website, which contains information related to the public convenience or necessity or PCN process and associated forms, the pre-application review process, associated forms and required documents, the temporary approval application process, associated forms and required documents, and the business premises relocation process, associated forms and required documents. I will now continue with a summary of DCR activities since the last meeting of the Cannabis Regulation Commission. Next slide. Next slide. I'd like to take this time, next slide. I'd like to take this time to remind the community to remain safe during the COVID-19 pandemic. The city is still battling COVID pandemic for the past few months. Novel coronavirus, or COVID-19, is a new virus that hasn't been identified before in humans. The spread of COVID-19 has been declared a public health pandemic by the World Health Organization and the Center for Disease Control. I encourage all of our stakeholders to visit the following websites to receive important information related to COVID-19. Coronavirus.la for information from the City of Los Angeles, publichealth.lacounty.gov for information from the County of Los Angeles, and cdc.gov for information from the Center for Disease Control. Next slide. Members of the public are further encouraged to take steps to care for themselves and their community by washing hands often, avoiding close contact, covering the mouth and nose with a cloth cover or face cover when around others, covering coughs and sneezes, cleaning and disinfecting, and monitoring your health daily. And please make sure to follow other guidelines established by public health experts. Next slide. In accordance with various city directives and guidelines, the department is currently conducting all of its core operations remotely and has been doing so since mid-March. The safety of our staff and our customers is of the utmost importance. Therefore, we are and will be continuing to take every precaution possible to prevent the spread of COVID-19. As such, and in line with Mayor Garcetti's directives, DCR has implemented the following. As mentioned previously and evidenced by the format of this meeting, Cannabis Regulation Commission meetings will be conducted telephonically until further notice. DCR's public service centers are currently closed. However, licensing and information services are still available online at cannabis.lacity.org or by phone at 213-978-0738 from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Pacific time. DCR has also been piloting virtual pre-licensing inspections. Thank you. Much has happened since the commission met back on July 30th. In addition to providing a summary of DCR activities, DCR shared new information, including but not limited to a summary of amendments to Article 4, Chapter 10 of the Los Angeles Municipal Code, including amendments to 104.19 regarding fees and fines associated with commercial cannabis regulation, ordinance number 186703, the PCN process and related requirements and restrictions, the pre-application process and related requirements and restrictions, the temporary approval application process and related requirements and restrictions, the process to request business premises relocation and related requirements and restrictions, the definition of equity share and related requirements and restrictions, and Phase 3 Retail Round 1. Since that meeting, the department has been working to streamline and enhance our communication strategy. We have partnered with reputable organizations to develop robust opportunities for our social equity applicants, engaged with the City Council and Mayor regarding the department's budget and administration, and made progress on various communications and policy efforts related to our licensing and social equity program. Next slide. Thank you. Now I'd like to review some general administration updates. The department is currently seeking to hire the following positions: a public information director and a senior project coordinator. These positions are listed on the city's personnel website under exempt positions. Next, Assistant Executive Director Jason Colleen will provide a summary of licensing-related activities since the last meeting of the Cannabis Regulation Commission.
Thank you, Ms. Plummer, and good afternoon, Commissioners. I'd like to start by providing an update on our licensing communications since the last Commission meeting. On August 17th, the Department sent a communication to Phase 3 Round 1 applicants to confirm their site control or register a notice of intent to relocate. On August 17th, the Department also sent a notice to all Phase 3 Retail Round 1 applicants, letting them know that the Department began processing the next 100 applicants in the Phase 3 Retail Round 1 process, consistent with Los Angeles Municipal Code Section 104.06.01B7. On August 17th, the Department also notified 15 applicants that were previously deemed ineligible during the original Phase 3 Retail Round 1 review due to sensitive uses tied to other Phase 3 Round 1 applicants or a community plan that reached undue concentration, that the Department has begun processing the applications and their applications would be reviewed as part of the next 100, consistent with Los Angeles Municipal Code Section 104.06.01B7. Next slide, please. On August 18th, the Department gave notice to Phase 1 and Phase 2 applicants with outstanding renewal fees that their temporary approvals would expire unless their fees were paid on or before Friday, August 21st, 2020. Prior to the notification on August 18th, the Department had originally sent out 2020 renewal invoices in March, and those invoices were due on May 15th of 2020. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the DCR extended the due date for licensees to remit their 2020 renewal fees to July 17th of 2020 to coincide with the expiration date of their 2019 temporary approvals. By July 17th, 2020, over 90% of our licensed businesses had paid their applicable renewal fees. To give folks one final opportunity to pay the renewal fees before we deem the licenses expired, DCR sent a notification on August 18th and had staff follow up with calls to all of the owners and contacts listed on the application record. On Friday, August 21st, DCR concluded the 2020 license renewal filing process. And on Monday, August 24th, the Department notified 8 businesses that failed to pay their renewal fees that their licenses had expired. 5 Phase 1 businesses and 3 Phase 2 businesses had allowed their licenses to expire. At the end of the renewal period, approximately 98% of all licensed commercial cannabis businesses had renewed their licenses for calendar year 2020. On August 24th, DCR notified 21 Phase 2 applicants that their applications were deemed abandoned due to not passing the required pre-licensing inspection or registering a notice of intent to relocate by August 14th of 2020. Next slide, please. Next, I would just like to provide an update on the businesses that are receiving 2020 licenses. On September 18th, 2020, all businesses with active 2020 licenses should be able to log into their Excel record and view their uploaded 2020 renewal licenses. DCR will begin mailing physical copies of those licenses on September 24th. For the applicants that have started the 2021 renewal process, that renewal process opened on September 2nd and it will close on November 2nd. Any license that is not timely renewed by the November 2nd, 2020 deadline will expire on December 31st, 2020 after 11:59 p.m. Folks will have to make sure that their taxes are current and paid through September 30th, 2020 to receive their new renewal licenses. Businesses that are not in good standing with the Office of Finance because they either don't have their applicable taxes paid through September 30th, or they have not entered into a payment plan to pay all of the taxes due by September 30th, will be denied and not allowed to renew their licenses for calendar year 2021. Next slide, please. The next slide just provides some numbers in terms of the number of authorized businesses and pending applications within the city. Currently, there's 423 commercial cannabis businesses authorized to operate within the city. There's 184 phase 1 businesses. There's 227 phase 2 businesses, and there's 12 testing laboratories. In total, DCR has granted 1,963 temporary licenses to these 423 businesses. In total, 983 adult use licenses, 968 medicinal use licenses, and 12 testing licenses have been issued to those 423 businesses. Currently, we have 143 phase 2 businesses that have limited immunity because they passed a pre-licensing inspection by July 3rd, 2020. And those businesses are working with DCR staff toward temporary approval. And hopefully those businesses will receive their temporary approvals before the end of the calendar year. We have an additional 156 commercial cannabis businesses with active temporary approval applications that are before the department. There's 55 phase 2 businesses. There's 100 phase 3 retail round 1 businesses. The additional 100 businesses that were authorized to invoice and deemed eligible for further processing have not been invoiced yet and are not included in that total. And we have 1 pending testing laboratory application. The department anticipates beginning to invoice the additional 100 phase 3 retail round 1 businesses deemed eligible for further processing later this month. Next slide, please. In terms of PCN request, currently there's 6 community plan areas that have reached undue concentration. They consist of Central City North, Harbor Gateway, Sherman Oaks Studio City, Sun Valley, Latuna Canyon, and Venice. DCR has received 69 PCN notices of intent to file a public convenience or necessity request, and we will begin processing those requests later this year once the PCN form has been made available to applicants and the completed forms and PCN fees have been remitted to the department. Applicants who wish to apply within these community plan areas will have to request a finding of public convenience or necessity from the City Council. If approved, DCR will have the ability to accept their applications and begin processing their applications. Next slide, please. At this time, I will go ahead and review the pertinent policy updates that have occurred since the last commission meeting. On July 29th, 2020, the City Council unanimously adopted an ordinance amending Municipal Code Section 10419, which updates the fees and fines associated with the regulation of commercial cannabis activity within the city. These fees allow DCR to achieve full cost recovery, and they are currently in effect. A second important policy that has moved forward is on August 27th, the City Planning Commission adopted a proposed ordinance and made a recommendation to the City Council to amend Municipal Code Sections 105.01, 105.02, and 105.03. Those changes will modify sensitive use definitions, location restrictions, and the time when a sensitive use is established for the purposes of our licensing program. Some of the key provisions of the proposed ordinance include changes to the required compliance with distancing requirements. The change will be, currently the code requires DCR to review the distancing between sensitive uses from the proposed licensee at the time a license would be issued. However, DCR, working with the Department of City Planning and the City Council, has sought an amendment to change that to the point at which the department determines the application eligible for further processing, because the department does the land use review on the front end of the application process. Another important thing is it would exclude non-recreational open space zone properties from the public park definition. This is important to our prospective applicants because currently water and power reservoirs, as well as other non-recreational water management systems, are considered sensitive uses under the ordinance. By removing those sensitive uses, we'll have more properties available to prospective applicants. And just to have one thing be clarified, the City Planning Commission had asked the Department of City Planning to add a sensitive use for bike trails to the proposed code. That will not impact any of our existing licensees because on-street bike lanes and transit corridor bike paths will continue to be excluded under the updated definition. And then the last key provision that will be updated is the definition of permanent supportive housing currently refers to a proposed policy that subsequently updated and adopted by the City Council. So the code will be amended to reflect the fact that this permanent supportive housing definition was adopted and that policy is currently in place. At this time, I will now turn the presentation over to Social Equity Program Director, Dr. Amani Brown, to provide a summary of social equity program related activities since the last commission meeting.
Dr. Brown, are you on mute?
No. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Please begin. Thank you.
Yes, next slide, please. Did you guys hear any of what I said or no?
No, please
I
begin.
think were you on mute, Dr.
Okay.
Brown?
No, I have it off. Somebody, no, I'm
Okay,
sorry.
we didn't hear anything. If you could start from the top, that we'd appreciate it.
Okay, no problem.
Thank
you, Mr. Kiley, and good afternoon, commissioners. I hope that everyone is staying safe and healthy. This afternoon, I'd like to cover updates related to our social equity program. I'll begin with an update on our partnership with the Los Angeles County Bar Association as it relates to the social equity program and our applicants. The Los Angeles County Bar Association's Cannabis section, in partnership with DCR, has created a pro bono legal assistance program which will operate through the Bar Association's Smart Law Referral Service. The goals of this referral resource are to promote fair and equitable participation in the licensed commercial cannabis industry and to foster a level playing field as it relates to access to legal counsel and help deter predatory practices targeting the social equity community. The Bar Association is currently developing the program, and these referral services will be available to certain qualified Phase 3 social equity applicants and licensees upon the launch of the program. Next slide. A few updates on the financial grant program. Earlier this year, DCR was awarded $7.8 million through the California Cannabis Local Jurisdiction Equity Grant. $5 million from this award has been earmarked for a financial grant program as established in the Los Angeles Municipal Code Section 104.20. The department is currently working to establish requirements for applicants and community members to participate in the financial grant program, which will be published in the rules and regulations. The department is in the process of contracting with qualified consultants to administer this financial grant program. I will now ask Ms. Raina Plummer to share a few general updates related to the department's communications and outreach.
Brown. At the last commission meeting, we mentioned a forthcoming initiative to engage with the public. To this extent, DCR has developed a stakeholder meeting and community listening session initiative. These stakeholder meetings and community listening sessions are intended to assist DCR in developing programs and policies to better serve the community. The stakeholder meetings and community listening sessions seek to enlist engagement from a diverse group of thought leaders, community-based organizations, nonprofits, businesses, educators, and others to better inform DCR about policy programming development initiatives. The department will keep the public apprised of our progress on this initiative as it develops. Next slide. I will now provide an update of our redesigned website, which we will also include information about the public convenience or necessity or PCN process and associated forms, the pre-application review process, associated forms and required documents, the temporary approval application process, associated forms and required documents, and the business premises relocation process, associated forms and required documents. The department is currently undergoing a comprehensive review and update of our website with the goal of creating a user-friendly and engaging experience. We recognize that due to the virtual nature of our current reality, we must modify existing communication strategies and will be intentionally working to shift all communications online. Next slide. As you can see by looking at screenshots of the existing website and the newly designed website side by side, by reorganizing the website, we sought to simplify and make more accessible important information. Much of the information on the existing website will be migrated to the newly designed website, but in a more organized and consistent manner. Next slide. The redesign will streamline the website in a fashion that makes it easy to navigate, search, and read. Users will be able to utilize various functions to connect with DCR, such as response portals, video tutorials, interactive maps, specific licensing information, consumer information, and dedicated landing pages for the social equity program and community outreach efforts. The website will serve as a valuable tool in DCR's communications toolbox as we continue to improve our direct communication with our applicants, licensees, stakeholders, and the general industry. The redesigned website is broken into 6 main menus: about, laws and regulations, licensing, about, laws and policy, licensing, social equity program, personal activity, and the complaint portal. Today's report will also reference new processes, procedures, forms, and resources that the department will publish to the new website as available. Many of these materials are still being finalized as the department works to implement over 100 individual amendments to our cannabis procedures ordinance. We appreciate your patience and would like to show you the new website. Stakeholders, the Department of Cannabis Regulation, also known as DCR, is in order to increase transparency into the department's administration of the cannabis procedures and rules and regulations, to improve data collection and information sharing and gathering, and to disseminate clear and concise communication with stakeholders, the Department of Cannabis Regulation, also known as DCR, is transforming its website into a more user-friendly online information and resource center. We have comprehensively redesigned our website to streamline, simplify, and make more accessible information related to the licensing program and social equity program. This video will show new processes, procedures, forms, and resources that the department will publish to the website as available. Many of these materials are still being finalized as the department works to implement over 100 individual amendments to our cannabis procedures ordinance. We recognize that due to the virtual nature of our current reality, we must modify existing communication strategies and will be intentionally working to shift all communications online. Thank you.
We have reorganized this entire website to make it easier for you to navigate and get the information you need. At the top of the website, you'll see our reorganized menu bar. The redesigned website reorganizes the menu bar into 6 sections: About, Laws and Policy, Licensing, Social Equity Program, Personal Activity, and the Complaint Portal. We will briefly review each of these now. One thing you'll notice about our menu bar is that each section contains submenus, organizing our information in an easy to understand format. Within the submenus, you can find individual web pages with specific related information. Under About, you can learn about the department. This includes information on the creation of the department, what we do, and our most recent updates. Following that, explore information about the Cannabis Regulation Commission. This submenu includes information on the commission, commissioners, and meeting and agenda information. We have also created a Contact Us page. Here, you can find the best contact information for the department. This is also where you can sign up for our email updates. Please reference the About section for all of your general department needs. You will also notice that we now have a Laws and Policy menu. This menu includes information on local laws, regulations and policies, specific Los Angeles Municipal Code sections, and additional licensing and permitting agency resources. Please spend time looking at this information if you have questions about our local laws, policies, and procedures. DCR now has a menu dedicated entirely to the Social Equity Program. Under the Social Equity Program menu, we have organized available information into 3 submenus. Here, you can learn about the program director, Dr. Imani Brown, Social Equity Program requirements, and program benefits and resources. As information becomes available for the Social Equity Program, this is where that information can be found. Please reference this section for Social Equity Program updates. DCR now has a menu dedicated to personal activity. Within this menu, members of the public will find legal resources, health resources, and information to assist members of the public to find licensed retailers in their area. Members of the public still have access to our complaint portal, which is the last menu on our menu bar. Please utilize this portal if you have a complaint against a cannabis operator in the city. Licensing, take 3. I will now share information about the new licensing menu. Within this menu, DCR has established the following submenus: news and updates, licensing information, and inspections and compliance information. Now, let's review the licensing information submenu. It is here on this submenu that members of the public can find the general overview page, public participation page, application procedures and resources page, application forms and documents page, fees and fines page, our licensing map, and then apply for a license page. Today, I will briefly preview both the application procedures and resources page and the application forms and documents page. It is here on these 2 pages that applicants can find important information about the following processes: the public convenience or necessity or PCN process and associated forms, the pre-application review process, associated forms and required documents, the temporary approval application process, associated forms and required documents, and the business premises relocation process, associated forms and required documents. I will now walk members of the public through the application procedures and resources page. The department has developed an application procedures and resources page to assist applicants and licensees in the application process. Currently, this page contains information related to the following processes: the PCN process, the pre-application review process, the temporary approval application process, and the business premises relocation process, along with additional processes. We encourage members of the public to review this page in its entirety and click through the various links to access the information included in our Information and Procedures Bulletin, as well as the information included on the Application Procedures and Resources page. Within the Application Procedures and Resources page, I will now preview procedures and resources related to the public convenience or necessity process to demonstrate what resources are available for each process. Each application process has an associated workflow. In addition to the workflow shown here, the department has developed a PCN Information and Procedures Bulletin, which can be found under the workflow chart as a clickable link. Please download these workflows and bulletins for personal use as you move through the application process. These documents are intended to guide you through the application process. Regardless of whether you use the bulletins, the department encourages you to conduct your own due diligence and research, or seek legal counsel if you need additional assistance. This is the PCN Information and Procedure Bulletin. In each Information and Procedure Bulletin, applicants can find an overview of the process, specific forms and instructions, and any additional pertinent information needed for that specific process. The Application Procedures and Resources page also has links to forms associated with specific processes. Here in the PCN section of this page, applicants can find related forms. You can also locate forms and documents by visiting the Forms and Documents page, which I will preview now. Currently, this page contains forms and documents related to the following processes: the PCN process, the pre-application review process, the temporary approval application process, and the business premises relocation process. Again, we encourage members of the public to review this page in its entirety and click through the various links to access information related to the required forms and documents. The website redesign is the first step in a series of other communication strategy updates. The department is working diligently to develop tools and resources to assist members of the public. Please continue to check our website for updates as we continue to grow. Thank you.
I will now pass things back to Director Packer to conclude today's Executive Director report.
Thank you, Ms. Packer.
Hello, Commissioners. As you can see from the presentation just shared, the Department of Cannabis Regulation has been busy since the last Cannabis Regulation Commission meeting, working on the overview and redesign of our website. As was mentioned by staff, the preview that we are sharing today is just the first of many improvements that we are working on as we recognize that many of our engagements, much of our engagement, at least in the short term, is going to be online. So we encourage members of the public, again, to sign up for our updates and alerts. We anticipate launching this website as it was previewed next week. We will be sharing specific information with applicants about how they can use these specific forms and documents that were shared today. But I also, before I conclude, I do want to thank my staff for all of the hard work that they have put into making sure that we could redesign our website. Members of the public and commissioners will be able to see once available that there are more than 24 forms and documents that we have developed over the course of the last several weeks in close coordination with our legal team. So I also would like to thank our legal team at this time, and then the Herculean effort by my staff and communications team to try and utilize all of these new digital tools that are around us to make sure that we are as accessible as we can be during this time. So I want to thank staff, and that concludes my Executive Director's report today. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Packer. I just want to commend all the staff that worked on this project. I know it was a lot of hours, not just reformatting the website, but all the content creation that went along with it, especially in this COVID environment. All these online resources and tools are going to be really imperative as we move forward. And I just want to remind the folks listening in from the public to really take the time to go through the website. There's a wealth of information in there. And just in my experience, a lot of the questions that I've gotten from folks over the course of the last few years, a lot of those answers are contained in the website. So that's a great place to start and a great resource for all the stakeholders and community folks that are interested in this topic. With that, I want to open it up the floor to my fellow commissioners for questions, comments, and deliberations. Commissioner Mason.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Kat, and to the Department of Cannabis Regulation staff. I commend you for the work that you all have done and in upgrading the website and for the thoroughness of this presentation this afternoon. My question has to do with the Public Information Initiative. As we all have heard over several commission hearings, one of the common complaints is the inability to receive timely information and timely responses to inquiries submitted to the department. So I'm just wondering if you have a timeline as to when that initiative will be ready to go live.
I'm sorry, Commissioner Mason, which specific initiative are you referring to?
The Public Information Initiative?
Are we referring specifically to the stakeholder meetings and community listening sessions?
Absolutely.
Okay. We intend to make those available this fall. We do not have a more definite timeline at this point. We are working with a contractor that is going to help us develop and facilitate these stakeholder meetings and community listening sessions. And for folks who are interested in participating in the next several weeks, we'll have a mechanism for folks to let us know that they're interested in participating.
Thank you for that. So you're saying that the community will be able to somewhat serve as a focus group and participate in that program and how it's rolled out?
Yes, that's exactly the intention of the stakeholder meetings and community listening sessions, is to be able to engage directly with folks who are most impacted by cannabis policies, most interested in cannabis policies, folks who have been leading and doing this work for a while, and folks who are new to it. Part of what we've learned thus far is that it takes a collaborative effort. There's still a lot of work to get done, and we need to hear from the folks who are impacted and subject matter experts, and it's going to take a broad coalition of folks to do that work. We want to be able to manage that engagement at scale, and so in order to do so, we have contracted or in the process of contracting with a third party to do that work. And so we're very excited about it. The intention behind these stakeholder meetings and community listening sessions will be to produce policy recommendations that we can then take to City Council.
Excellent, excellent. I know the few sessions that have taken place in the past have been very fruitful for the department and hopefully for those who participated in those sessions. So I'm excited to see that expand. Looking forward to hearing about the frequency of those listening sessions and seeing where that goes. Thank you.
I appreciate that, Commissioner Mason. I think one of the things that we are excited about being able to leverage, particularly right now, is that because we're going to be doing a lot of digital engagement, we hope that that allows this process to be much more accessible to folks, and we can even have more than one meeting happening at one time because there's more than one issue to discuss and to elevate. So I look forward to working with you specifically on that. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Commissioner Villa, do you have any questions or comments regarding the presentation we heard?
No, I think the presentation was an excellent presentation. I appreciate receiving the information, and I thank everyone at the department for their hard work on it.
Thank you. All right, if there's nothing else, I think we're about ready to wrap things up. Commissioner Mason, one last time, anything else?
Thank you, Commissioner. No, I didn't have anything else today. Yeah. Good job, everyone, all around. Okay. I know we had to work through some technology issues, as is the case with Zoom, but we made it through.
Great. And to the members of the public, I also want to just thank you for your patience. We had a little bit of a delay in the beginning due to the live streaming that we're trying to get connected on. So just want to thank you again for your patience and apologize for the delay. I fully anticipate that the next hearing, we will be starting right at 2 o'clock promptly. So with that, I'd like to adjourn today's meeting. The time now is 3:40. Thank you, everyone.